Welcome to my channel, Kaz's Communicate. My name is Kaz. Hilarion appeared to me a few days ago and I'm being nudged to do a reading with him, so here it is. Hilarion is considered a master or lord of ancient wisdom, of the fifth ray of healing, truth and knowledge. He supports science and scientists, engineers, musicians, healers, spiritual teachers and access to truth and inner wisdom. One of Hilarion's documented lives was in the 3rd century. He was born in Gaza and liked to live his life as a hermit, settling in remote areas throughout Europe. He travelled seeking spiritual knowledge and was known to be a miraculous healer on par with Jesus. He moved on when he became too well known in the area where he was living. He died in Cyprus at the age of 80. I'm using the Hilarion Quintessence from the Soma range to assist in this reading today. Master Hilarion tells me that he will send you healing energy throughout this reading. Before we start the reading, please go and get a glass of water and sit it beside you. It will have the healing energy embedded in it for you to drink at the end of the reading. So you can pause the video if you need to go and get some water. There are 3 piles to choose from today. So choose the one that you're most drawn to. If you like more than one pile, you can listen to more than one. The timestamps will be in the description below. So in group 1, we've got a red Jasper, a Turtilla Jasper and Mookite. In pile 2, we've got Morganocalcite, blue lace Agate and Fuchsite. And in group 3, we've got Tekite, Chaorite and Shugite. So choose your pile and I'll see you in your readings. Welcome group 1. So we've got the red Jasper. I'm going to just channel some information from Hilarion. He says, welcome star people. Your origins may be as a star seed and you're not originally from this planet. You may have lived 2 or 3 lives here. Now often indicators of this can be that you don't quite fit into what's going on around you, or you don't quite understand people and their motivations in life, or you're just a little bit out of the ordinary, and you see things differently to most of the people around you. Okay, so it may be that you've come here to do a certain job with the collective and integrate yourself in a way that starts bringing energy through that is ancient and healing but has origins in other planets. It's almost like you're here to smooth out the corners of mankind, especially for those who are resistant. And what Hilarion's saying is not to go out and yell it from the rooftops, but in your own quiet way, when people are asking you, you are just letting them know where you come from and what your opinion is on things. So what your point of view is, which is often quite different to other people's. You're not ramming it down their throats, you're just quietly stating your business. And by doing this, what you're actually doing is giving people another perspective. They're then going away and thinking about what you said, and it's really striking a chord with them. So you're a little bit of an awakener in that way. You do have the gift of foresight, so that is becoming more developed as you go on in life. So it may be that you think you're going to do one thing and then suddenly you change your mind, and it's not because you're contrary, it's because there is a better way for you. So it's like you tune into that wavelength and then you find a much better way for you. So you may be an innovator, you may be a scientist, and the fact that you think differently to others around you is very sorry, I'm just trying to get the word fortuitous in this area, because where people get stuck or they only advance so far, you can go beyond that because of your insight and your different way of thinking. You may have been the odd one out in your family or in your community because you did think so differently to others, or you might even have you might even look quite different to other people, maybe in your family or even in your community. You may have a disability that's made you different to other people. But underneath it all, there's this brain and this drive to do things in a much different way. And that's where innovation comes in. So this group is the awakeners and the innovators. You're going to see things much differently to other people. So when there's a worldwide problem, you're going to see it from a different point of view. You're going to see why we have that problem and how to overcome that problem, if it needs to be overcome. Maybe it just needs to be written out, and you will see that. You have a fine way of speaking, and you consider your words. And you also have a fine way of writing, so you might even be a writer, or if you are in the scientific field, you may write maybe articles that aren't accepted now, but maybe in the future as the rest of society catches up with your way of thinking. You're seen as a little bit eccentric by others, but in a kind-hearted way. There's no malice towards you. But you may have experienced some bullying as a child because you were different than others. As you progress through life, more and more things become available to you from the star system. And it's up to you whether you choose to bring this through or not. And it may be that you wake up suddenly in the middle of the night with an idea on something you've been working on that is completely left field, and then becomes something that you follow like a thread, and it brings you to something bigger and bigger and bigger. And you follow this thread, and even yourself, you're quite amazed at what it brings you to. Okay. I'm seeing cows, so I don't know if any of you live on farms or are connected to dairy or meat industry, but I'm seeing cows, or whether this is some area that you work in as a scientist, or you particularly like cows. I'm not sure if there's a planet that's associated with the cow. Maybe there is. Okay, so what you would like to do is find others of your kind and to be part of a herd of people with similar attributes. And you will find that with the way that we're connecting internationally these days, you will find 3 or 4 people who really are on your wavelength, and they will support you in your journey, and you will support them with their journey. Theirs might be slightly different to yours, but they are very considered and can understand where you are coming from. It is outside of your scope of awareness at the moment, and maybe outside of the country or continent you live on or in, but you will find them. And you might find 2 together and then others separately. So that's all I have from a Hilarion for you, Group 1. Now I'm going to ask you at the end of this reading now to drink your water because the energy is embedded in it, and just imagine that every one of your cells is absorbing the energy of Hilarion. If you like this content, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Welcome Group 2. So I'm just bringing Hilarion through for your reading, and I'm going to use the Fuchsite to have a look at this energy. So Group 2, you might be the healers of the group, so you might work in a hospital or the healing field in some way. You might be a psychologist, you might be a nurse, you might be a Reiki master, you might be anything to do with healing, social work, occupational therapy, speech therapy, anything along those lines. Now, what Hilarion is telling me is that a lot of your healing is done on the energetic level. So even if you are in a traditional job like a doctor, you are doing most of your healing through energy. So just your presence in the room is healing for people. You may have noticed this since childhood. You may have found that people have said to you, I feel better when you're around, or you're so calm, I feel calm when you're around. It's because your energy, your innate ability to heal, which is developed through many lifetimes, is coming through and shining through. More and more people are able to connect with this, so even if they don't understand it, it's happening regardless. Now, because this is happening on a level that you're not always aware of, you may find yourself becoming extremely drained at times, particularly when you're around large groups of people or you're exposed to the same people for long periods of time. So say that you were attending a workshop with people and you are in the room with 200 people for 8 hours at a time. You may feel very drained after this because you are holding the energy of that room, or you are holding the energy of that hospital or wherever you happen to work. So it's Hilarion's saying you need good food and a lot of water throughout your day. So healthy food. So he's saying plant-based foods. You can add protein if that's your thing, but just to get you nutrients to get you through your day. And if you can get outside at any point during the day, particularly in your work break, to do so, because that naturally re-energizes you. For some of you, you do have an innovative message or trail to follow in this lifetime as far as the healing arts are concerned. And it may be something that's never been seen before, or seen but not as anyone on earth currently remembers it. Your family are very aware of your healing gifts, and you might find that other people in your family have them too. And there may be a tendency to sacrifice yourself for others, because this is something that's been passed down in your family line. So just be aware of not getting yourself burnt out for others, because if you get burnt out, then your energy dims and nobody can access it on the energetic level as well. So good care of yourself is vital, and being aware that you are the most important person in your life, and you're not put on this planet just to give and give and give. You're also to receive as well, which I think perhaps this group struggles with a little bit. It's very strong in your family to sacrifice for others. So they're asking you that you break this chain, because it's not a balanced giving, and it's like the wounded healer energy. So it's up to you to break this chain for your family so that future generations don't feel that this is the way things have to work. So when you need a rest from your healing, you take a rest. If you're pressured to do extra shifts at work, say no when you're not up to it. Because it's vital that you keep some energy for yourself and put energy into yourself. So if the advice from Hilarion here is that meditation and walking in nature is very important to you and your energy. So if you don't already do these things, he recommends that you do and get outside. He was also known to eat 1 meal a day after sunset, and this might be something that you align with, not necessarily, but for some people this might be something they're accustomed to doing. And there's very much about nurturing self and putting the good fuel in so you can get the energy out. Sorry for any background noise. We are staying near an airfield and it's a little bit unpredictable at times. So putting good fuel in to get good energy out is important here, because you will get run down and burnt out. When you do get physical symptoms of illness, it's often an energy overload. It's not necessarily an infection of any kind. It's because you need to take time out to recalibrate yourself. There may be some times when your energy is upgraded too, and the same thing will happen. It'll be you'll get like a flu type illness or a viral type illness that isn't really anything that anyone around you gets. It's just because your energy is being upgraded, but that's how it manifests in you. Alright, group 2, we thank Hilarion for his messages. As you drink your water from the reading, just imagine that every one of your cells is absorbing the energy of Master Hilarion. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next reading. Welcome group 3 to your reading. I'm getting a strong impression of lizard people when I came into this group, so I'm not quite sure what that relates to. It may be your ancestral origins, which may be with another planet. You might have an interest in lizards or lizard people, so that might be something you want to investigate. Okay, let's have a look here. I'm coming back to the lizard people again. So it's strongly linked with you somehow. You might feel that you're a lizard person amongst everyone else in the world, that you're quite different to everyone else. This strongly correlates with group 1. And they're saying that there are some answers that you're seeking that you will find. So I'm not sure if that relates to the lizard people, but there are some answers you're looking for. It can be in any aspect of your life, but you will find them shortly within the next 2 to 3 months. Hilarion's opening his arms wide to you and embracing you. He has a very strong connection with you. So if any of you are looking for spiritual assistance, you can call Hilarion to come and help you. He has a lot of experience, not just in scientific fields, but with building things. So if you are someone who likes to build things, even if it's Lego or something along that lines, or if you're building a house or anything to do with construction and building, architects, planning, anything like that, he will come and help with that. Okay, so I'm hearing that your family is full of wise people, and it may be that you maybe don't utilise them as much as you should with answers that you need. I feel strongly there's something going on maybe a couple of generations back that has the answers to the questions that you were seeking, that we were talking about here earlier. So you might, if you're not already interested in your family lineage or who your ancestors were, you may want to go and do some research there. I feel that there's someone strongly in your family line that you can identify with very, very well. And there may be more than one person. And it's almost like you're very close to your family, but you're a little bit odd amongst them. But when you look back, there's a few odd ducklings in your family. Maybe there's a couple in each generation or one in each generation that really stands out. And they are helping you too. So they're, if they've passed, they're in spirit helping you with your mission this lifetime. Because this group, everyone has quite a strong mission. You're also an information gatherer. I don't know if you chronicle things, maybe things that have happened in your family, or you write a diary or journal. Because there's things that other people want to know about. And it might be that you're a writer or something along those lines. For some of you, it has strong family ties. So maybe the family's writing about, maybe your parents are writing about their parents and their parents wrote about their family life or something like that. It might be a family tradition. Some of you might have a family Bible that's written in and people's names are written in the front. Or something along that line where there's a bit of tradition that's carried down in the family. Okay, there's also some family karma that needs to be cleared this lifetime. And my friends, you are the people to do it. So as you do some family research, you might find some patterning that happens around particular behaviours. For example, I'm not saying this is what's happening, but there may be a strong tendency to alcohol abuse in your family, or a strong tendency to abandonment in your family, or is something along those lines. And you volunteered to cut this out for future generations. Okay, so we're coming back to getting the answers that you want. And Hilarion is saying, seek and you will find. So we don't always get the answers that we want in life. But he's saying, with what is particularly burning with you, you will get the answers you'll find. And it'll be like opening a cave where you'll go into a little chamber and then suddenly you notice a tunnel and you follow that tunnel, and then you notice another tunnel and you follow that tunnel. Then you come to a bigger chamber. Then you notice 3 tunnels going off and you're exploring. And so one thing is going to lead you to another thing. And in the meantime, you're exploring all these different avenues. Yeah, you're an information gatherer. And almost journaling your journey. I keep coming back to the word chronicles. So it may be that you, whatever you're seeking the answers to, you may write a book about this journey or diarise it, which later becomes available to others in some form. There are some vloggers here in this group too, but it's a little bit deeper than a travel vlog or something, or a daily vlog of your life. It's more about a journey or a quest that you're on, and you're vlogging that. And others are meant to see it. It may be that you start doing it for your own interests or your family's interests, but it becomes bigger than that. Okay, group 3. Please drink your water now and imagine that every one of your cells is absorbing the energy of Master Hilarion. If you like this content, you can subscribe and I'll see you in my next video.